Alrighty, folks. One of the things you need to do if you are if you're running a business, you're an entrepreneur, is you need to get out there. More and more people need to know what you are doing. We've got the one and only Brendan Boyd with us today. How you doing, Brendan?
Hey, what's going on, Mike? I'm excited to be here. Thanks for the opportunity to be on your platform and connect with you. It's gonna be great, man. So yeah, excited to be here.
Absolutely. So I ran into you via one of my millionaires that I speak with each week, Brian Adamson. Shout out Brian for connecting us. He has had nothing but great things to say about you and what you're doing for him. Why don't you just tell the audience the bigger message? What do you do? Why it's important? Why now? Let's start there.
Okay, before I do that, I just want to make a quick note because I want
Sure.
to make sure people that are listening and watching this, they see how casually you just said I just connected with one of my millionaires right recently, right? So I, so I think that's just good to note, man, because that just shows that you're in good company. And I remember when I didn't have millionaire friends, and now I have a bunch of them, and I think it's just so great to be able to send a message, make a call,
Yeah.
connect on live on a podcast, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically what I do is I have an agency, and with the agency, we connect with entrepreneurs and business owners, right?
Mhm.
We want to work with those who know their message, who have a solid product that can provide a solution.
Mhm.
But their hurdle is not enough people know who they are, what they do, and how it could potentially work for them, right? So what we do is we get them in front of more people, more audiences by leveraging podcast guesting, right?
Mhm.
And not just the podcast part, because I'm gonna be honest, anyone can get you on a show. You can get yourself on a show, but we also teach you how to turn those appearances back into leads in your business, so you can grow your email list, your text message list, close more deals, and ultimately get more exposure. Like if you think about it, like Oprah, Arsenio Hall, The Tonight Show, right? Those are huge platforms back in the day where, actors used to go on a run, authors used to go on a run. You know what I mean? Even other people that had, a random product or maybe had their own show, they would go on a run. You know what I mean? Even
Mhm.
Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil is a spinoff. He used to just be on Oprah all the time, right? And then he
Right.
ended up getting his platform, and then people would stop by his space. So it's the same thing, but now we're using podcasts. That's something that anyone can relate to. And everyone has, audience, right? So if you can
Mhm.
audience hop and get a couple of people to know who you are, or a couple hundred people, couple thousand people know who you are, you're
Right.
gonna grow your business and brand.
Yeah, it's really interesting, right? So, I came into this YouTube world not having a social media presence, not knowing what I was doing. Dude, Brandon, I didn't even know you could freaking monetize YouTube when I
Yeah.
started this thing. It was like all foreign to me. I just came at it from giving, and 5 years later, we 55,000 plus subs. We do,
Talk about it.
yeah, yeah. We do 5 videos a day. We've done 12,000 videos, which is pretty crazy to think about. Most people give up after
Mhm.
10.
10
Um,
videos.
yeah,
Nice.
exactly. After 10, and we got 12,000 videos,
Yeah.
so it's fun to talk about. But it's really interesting as I've gone in this by accident,
Mm.
completely by accident. We've been invited on other shows. Like, for example, I think Media was
Yeah.
first.
Sean Cannell.
Um, Sean Cannell, right?
Yeah.
And I actually invited Sean on the channel multiple times, and he was gracious enough to say yes. He wrote a book, and we talked about it. And it was probably a year after his first episode. He said, "Hey, if you're in Vegas, swing by." That same weekend, because I was there, Ryan Pineda said, "Hey, you're in town. I got a
Pull
spot."
up.
He again was on my channel.
Hmm.
I think he was on my channel 2 or 3 times as well. And then the other one that was 3 or 4 years in the making is I interviewed Meet Kevin,
Yeah.
gosh,
Yeah.
4 years ago,
Hmm.
and was finally invited, out to be at his studio. But I could tell you, getting on those channels, um, you could definitely see the spikes in the metrics, in new views, new audience. So
Yeah.
it
But
definitely makes sense.
I think again, if y'all are really paying attention to what Mike's saying and what he's sharing, he's leaving a lot of context clues, right? So he was able to leverage his channel, right, to get some of these great guys on his channel first, which basically builds a relationship, right? And I don't know if you were, I don't know how many subscribers or followers you had at that time, but you built the relationship. And what's more
Yep.
valuable than the subscribers and the followers is the relationship, right? So
Right.
then, like you
Yep.
said, circling back,
Yep.
you then had an opportunity to go on these guys' platforms, but you leveraged your platform first,
Sure.
which is how I started when I started building, let's say, my millionaire friends, or my level of relationship started to increase, is
Mhm.
because I was leveraging a podcast. And I feel
Yep.
like it's a platform where you'll get way more yeses than you'll get nos when it comes to, hey, listen, I love what you got going on.
Yeah.
You're inspiring me, or I read your book. This is great. I would love to talk to you for 20 minutes or so, plus minus,
Yeah.
have you come on my platform. They're gonna say, yeah, why? Because people want to talk about what they got going on.
Exactly.
You know what I
Yeah, and
mean?
if you can find somebody who has an event like Sean Cannell had his book come out, Ryan Pineda had his first book, I Flip, and then I think it was I Flip, maybe
Yeah,
something
yeah,
else.
yeah, yep. Yeah.
And
No, I
then
think
his
like
second
Clippers,
book,
something like that.
yeah, something like that. And then he had his Wealthy Way book come out. And what I found again is you're absolutely right. Give value first. And also, oh, by the way, don't just send them a note saying, "Hey, you want to come on the show?"
Yeah,
Talk their language, watch their stuff,
100%.
use their vocabulary.
Yep.
And again, not everybody says yes,
No,
but
no, no, Mike. They say yes.
yeah,
Everyone,
uh,
listen. Everyone says yes. What I would say is, and I know you could probably give more context on this. Sometimes a yes isn't in your time, but the
yes,
yes
that's
comes.
fair.
The yes is
Yeah, yeah,
coming. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Sometimes it takes follow up, whatnot. But yeah, I think it's really important. A lot of people, because a lot of people now are trying to build a brand, a
yeah,
social media presence, and
mm-hmm,
it's very much me, 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 me.
yeah,
No, 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 no. Make it them, 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 them,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then come back. I think Gary V wrote a book called Jab, 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 Right Hook.
yeah. I actually have a hardcover copy of that.
Nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do too. I do too. I actually have a couple of pieces of Gary V autograph swag, just because I wanted it on my shelf. But
Mm,
yeah, I think there's a lot of truth in that. I think there's a lot of folks. Really, it's just I don't know if it's the time or whatnot. A lot of people, dude. A lot of people want it easy.
yeah,
We're
man.
talking about it. I would call it simple, but I wouldn't
Hmm.
call it easy.
I agree.
Yeah, and it takes follow up. It takes execute. It takes being a good person. I mean, having a channel for 5 years, being very consistent. Brandon, I get emails almost every day that basically say something like this: "Hey, I represent so and so. We love your channel." All this just garbage. He or she would love to be on the channel. Here's a link to book them.
Yeah,
You know what I think when I get those emails?
yeah. I'm not even gonna respond.
Well, that's delete is the action. But what do I think? What I think is
Yeah.
if this mother effer
Mm.
thinks think I'm so good and they're so important, why aren't they reaching out themselves?
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. I hear you, but
Yeah.
sometimes,
I'm just telling you how I
those,
feel.
some,
Yeah.
I mean, you okay? All right, look. So I see that, right?
Mm,
I see that. I think sometimes people they may pick and choose, right? Where it's
yeah.
like, you know what? I might have to use my celebrity. Like for instance, let's say Grant Cardone wanted to come on the show, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Grant Cardone may not hit you up, let's just say, but
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
may
Yeah. Yeah.
send one of his people to hit you up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Uh-huh.
But then maybe in a different context, Grant Cardone may reach out if he feels like he can use his celebrity to lock it in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I definitely hear what you're saying, but I would
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah. So again, I want to be very clear because I know you run an agency. I know you reach out to folks. I know you do all of that.
So basically, what
Be,
Mike's saying is when I reach out to get a client on, he gonna be like, nah, he gonna delete the email.
what I got to tell you is the
Yeah.
opening paragraph is everything
Mm, yeah.
because usually these freaking emails are like 5 paragraphs.
Yes,
And
I
if
got
you don't hook me in the first 3 sentences,
you. Hmm.
I am not reading the rest.
Could we give an example of what a hook would be that would
I
captivate you to read the paragraph?
what I want to see in that first couple of lines is honesty
Mm.
not bullshit. I love what you're doing, this, that, the other thing, because you're just trying to sell a sales guy.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't need that. It should be something like, I am Brendan Boyd. I, agency name. I represent so and so who is so and so.
Mhm.
I think too many of these opening paragraphs are people trying to soften me up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that shit annoys me. I don't need that. If you want to catch my attention, be honest with me and be direct. And then if you want to say some nice stuff at the bottom, go ahead. But too many of them, they lose me in the first sentence because they're trying to say, "Hey, I've been following you for a long time," and I know they're not. I know they're lying. So
Mhm.
dishonesty, gone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I see that. I see that. So, what we do, right? So even on mines, right? So I'll reach out to a show. I got a one sheet,
Yep.
right? But we kind of empower the one sheet. What does that mean?
Mm,
I'll do like a intro, like a meet Brendan on the one
mm.
sheet.
There you go.
So yeah, so you'll have like
Who
a
are
little,
you?
yeah, for
Yeah.
me, right? So you have a little paragraph that like you said, hey, Mike, I represent such and such. Check out the one sheet, right? So, but I'll make a like a direct, line to say, hey, check out the meet or check out the video. And the
Mm,
video will be like, 40 seconds, maybe 60 seconds max.
yeah.
And it
That's
starts off
better.
with some drama, right?
Yeah.
It'll be like I used to go to crack houses with my mom. Like it's a hook, but it's the truth.
Right.
Like
Right.
so it'll be like a little intro video. So then that way you get to understand the person's
Better.
energy, their
Much better.
cadence. You'll feel way better, and you'll be like, you know what? I actually like Mike. I like Brendan. Let me have
Yeah,
on a
you'll
show.
know one way or another, right? It's a yes or
You
no.
know exactly what they got going on.
Yeah. So haven't seen one of yours, obviously.
Yeah.
Those that is a much better. I can't tell you how many of these are clearly written by someone who English is their second language.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, really? This is what you're trying to do right now?
Yeah.
I'm like, if you're going to make this a profession and you're going to pay these people, I don't know what you're paying them, but it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Peop It just doesn't work. So I don't know.
Yeah. I got
A
to
little
compliment
rant.
you, man, real quick, if I may. I mean,
Uh-huh.
couple things, because I think you're showing people things indirectly
Mm,
by being so consistent that it may kind of go over their head, right? So obviously, yeah, you built this amazing channel, but you put in the reps, right? You dropping these 5 videos.
oh,
Do you say 5 videos a day or 5 videos a
a
week?
day. A
So
day.
5 videos a day on YouTube?
Yes.
Okay, so we could talk about that in a second. But 5 videos a day on YouTube, you got the cadence, you got the flow, you got the structure. You're using Zoom, right? Which people can get for free,
Yep.
right? And there's so many other platforms that they can utilize, which may be a little bit more complex, whatever. But you're
Mm,
using Zoom. Everyone's used to Zoom,
mm.
right? You're recording this, right? Which
Yep.
means at the end you can then upload it.
Yep.
And then you literally, to get me on here, you literally just sent me a Zoom link that everyone
Yep.
can do. So you're
And
showing people,
one more
oh,
thing, and this is important. I will not edit this video.
oh, look at, he's not, listen, he's not even editing. I can say whatever I want right now. He's not
Yes.
gonna edit the video.
Nope.
So
I
I
will,
think
as
that's
soon as this is
amazing,
over.
man. Because again,
Yep.
you're showing people in real time, like, hey, listen,
Yep.
you ain't got no excuses. I'm showing you, I've been consistent, 5 videos a day.
Mhm.
I'm not even editing this. I'm using the free
Nope.
software,
Yep.
and then I'm just gonna post it. Do you have a thumbnail at least?
One of my guys, so one of the things, the only thing I pay for is somebody to do a thumbnail. It will show up somewhere between 3 and 4 hours. This will be
Okay.
posted before the thumbnail, and then
I
they
love
post
that.
the thumbnail over.
I love that. I love that. So first, like I said, I had to just congratulate you on that because I think that's amazing, and I love the turnaround. So the 5 videos that you post daily, what are they all different? Are they all interview styles? Is some
Yeah.
value? Like what's the difference between the five?
So I do the only thing on my channel that is truly mine
Yeah.
is I do something called the Daily Financial News. I do it live at 7:30 a.m. Pacific. Live.
Okay.
I go live.
That's it.
And that's it. And then 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, I will do a minute millionaire interview. Those
Okay.
interviews are usually 3 topics, 12 to 15 minutes each. So
Got
I
you.
get 3 files.
So you're
So
doing
I'm per
3 interviews a day.
Yep. Yep. And they're scheduled. The beauty about
Yeah.
the channel and why I say my millionaires is I have about 12 to 13 millionaires that show up every week. They just
Oh, so
schedule
you
me in
have
their
so you have
calendars.
some consistent. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like you can have a
Yeah,
Brendan every Thursday
playlist.
at 2 p.m. type of thing.
Yeah, exactly. So
Nice.
Anna Kelly, for
Nice.
example, she's 8 a.m. Wednesday mornings, and Anna and I have been talking for 5 years.
Crazy.
5 years. Every Wednesday at 8 a.m. We talk.
So
We
what
did.
so what was the significance of finding a consistency with a couple of these millionaires that you can lock in certain times? Like why not interview different people every single week? Like what made you want to lock in with some people consistently?
It's easier. I don't
Mm,
have to be on the hunt for new people,
I like that.
right? So again, the millionaires have been cobbled together on purpose over time. So the millionaires were created by interviewing people one time.
Got you.
And if we liked each other and we clicked and the audience loved them, I invited them. I would tell you there's hundreds of people I've interviewed once and never came back because I didn't click. I got a slimy vibe. I didn't feel they were there. They maybe didn't like me. It goes both ways.
Got you.
But having millionaires, I would say the millionaires are about 70% of my schedule.
Hmm.
And then I still have 30%, which I could book in new people because it's always fun to get new people.
Yeah.
Um, but I can tell you having to book 3 hours a week is a lot better than trying to book 15 hours a week.
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
Man, I like that a lot. And again, if y'all are paying attention, Mike's leaving some context clues here. Like he got programming. Like he's literally got programming set in the channel
Yep.
with a couple different, let's call them episodes, a couple different
Yeah,
episodes of millionaires
exactly. Yeah.
that
Episodes, channels, whatever you want to call it.
whatever you
Absolutely
want
right.
to call it. And
Yeah.
do you
Yeah.
take so okay. Is this considered, would you consider this a show or like a podcast? I guess I would say, is
This is
there
a
any of
show
this
to
content
me.
content
Mhm.
that you then put on like the audio platform, or is it all just YouTube?
So YouTube is a place where I put original content. I
Yeah.
do have somebody that takes one episode a day and puts it on a podcast. I do have somebody that takes the daily and puts it on Twitter or X. I do have somebody that cuts up shorts,
Mm,
but I do none of that.
got you.
My job is original content
You
on
just
YouTube,
creating.
just creating
I
and
like
let the
that.
powers that be, take it from there.
Man, I like it. I
Yeah.
like it. That's
Yeah.
cool.
And then the beauty of this is um, I am one of the rare people that frankly produces too much content for YouTube. I post content from 7:30 a.m. to 7 o'clock at night every 2 hours or so. And when I do that, my channel doesn't get a chance to kick into the algorithm,
Mm,
right? Because it's too soon, right? A video goes at 9 o'clock and another one at 11 and another one at 1. Um, but what happened is when I got that feedback from folks that are experts, I just spun out another channel called the Daily Financial News that only gets one video. Again, I do nothing original for it. That channel is already monetized and growing all by itself.
mm.
And then I created a third channel called Best of ORAT. What is that channel? That channel takes the best video of the day and then puts it on its own. And then that channel will be monetized in another month or so. So again, my job hasn't changed. Daily financial news, 7:30 a.m. Talk to a couple of millionaire buddies, talk to 2 or 3 new people a week, 5 days a week. It's that simple.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
I mean, we've been asking questions back and forth. I don't know why I said, "Can I ask you a question?" I hate when people say, "Can I ask you a question?" Are we asking questions? But when someone says, "Can I ask you a question?" They're about to ask a
Yeah,
question, right?
something. Yeah,
Um,
something deep.
something, some
Yeah.
context. So, how old are you?
I'm
By the way.
51. 51.
All right. So you're 51 years old. So there could be people watching right now. I know I have some of my relatives that might be 50s. Um, how realistic would you say it is? And you're doing it in real time, but I would like to hear you say it.
Mhm.
How realistic would it be for someone, let's say your age or a little older, maybe a little
Sure.
younger, kind of, maybe let's say 50 to 60s,
Sure.
to start it? They never had a YouTube channel before.
Been there.
To start a channel as an older person,
Mm.
right? Or someone who thinks they're older. It's all about how you feel on the inside.
Yeah, yeah.
But as someone that's in their 50s to 60s, start a channel, be
Mm.
consistent, and have a certain level of success.
I don't know why they're not doing it. The beauty about being 50 years old is I have experience and history,
Mm,
right? And I've told people all the time, if you're 50 you have had a passion or a hobby for decades.
Yeah.
Classic cars, making jam, whatever it is, whatever your thing is that you've always done for fun, Brendan, that's a channel. All you
Mm,
have to do is find your tribe. You know what? I've done no paid marketing. I paid nobody for nothing. I've made over 7 figures by accident because
mm.
of this channel.
You talking, yo, you talking heavy right now, Mike. You talking heavy.
Again, a 50-year-old who loves the Smurfs or loves
Mm,
classic Mustangs or loves old motorcycles, whatever it is, you have a channel. There is you don't need 1 million followers.
yeah.
You just need to find your tribe.
You got to do the
And
work too. You doing the
oh
work. You showing up. Like,
yeah,
you showing up. You
yeah,
consistency.
no doubt, no doubt.
Yeah.
But it's easy. It's easy. All you got to do. That's why I got to be very clear as we kind of wrap this up.
Yeah.
My channel would not exist today if I didn't find my tribe of millionaires.
Mm,
I could not create 5 original piece of content by myself for 5 years and be interesting.
yeah.
But you know what? I can create 1 video a day, and then I could create 4 or 5 videos with other millionaires as we rap about a certain topic.
Yeah.
I would tell you, if you are into classic cars or any of these other things, go find 4 other people and talk to them 1 hour a day. Like, talk to Mary on Monday and Bob on Tuesday and Bill on Wednesday at whatever time works for them. That's content, and it's that easy.
I like that. I like that a lot, man.
Yeah.
I like that a
So
lot. I think that you're giving people a super realistic blueprint because you're literally not complicating anything, and you're telling people, hey, listen, I don't have this, I don't have this, I've not used this, I never did this. I'm just
no,
every week, every day, have some certain things dialed in. I'm not even editing,
nope,
and I'm just putting it up and
done,
adding a thumbnail, and you could
done.
do it too, even if you're in
Absolutely,
your 50s or 60s. And you started this
absolutely.
5 years ago?
I started when I was 45. Yeah,
So 5 years ago.
yeah,
Crazy.
yeah. Well, Brendan, if somebody wanted to reach out to you and see if you can help them, where
Yeah,
should we send them?
100%. Listen, if you guys are interested in learning more about me and what I have going on, you can head right over to Instagram and DM me at its Brendan Brendan Boyd Boyd, right? You can head over right there. If you are interested in learning what we do, as far as podcast guesting and getting on more audiences, 100%. You can go to podcast masterypack.com. You can go right there, and we can take care of you and help you get on more
Awesome,
stages.
Brendan. Thank you for coming on. It's been a wealth of knowledge and a lot of fun. So I appreciate
This
that.
has
Take
been
care.
great. This has been great.
There you go.